Well, welcome. We're so excited to have all of you attend our first EGA Innovation Lab. I can't be excited to have two of my favorite partners to the call today in TechTarget and Demandbase, companies we work with every day with our enterprise customers. So it's so exciting to have this first session be with the two of you all. So the goal of the EGA Innovation Lab is really to bring together partners and sort of think about customer use case scenarios. Our customers use multiple technology platforms, but when we think about vendors and when they talk to vendors, they talk about them in isolation, which is so far from the truth. So having the ability to sit with awesome vendors that coexist in all these organizations and talk about a better together story, and better yet, which I think you guys will be super excited based on some of the stuff I've seen before, that what these guys are doing together is just so exciting. And, I don't have to tell you all, if you are attending this conversation, intent data is probably important to you. And intent data is becoming important over the last several years. And as of last year, I think we had done our growth survey. Number of companies that were using multi-layered intent was growing at a really fast pace, which makes sense because I can't, in this new world, expect to understand everything from my first-party data alone. I need to pair my first-party data with my third-party data to really glean the right signals. And doing so, everyone's trying hard, but man, it takes a lot of elbow grease. It takes a lot of effort. It's good for us as agencies to be there to help those enterprise companies kind of make it happen, but we really wish things were easier. And I've been having the conversations with the TechTarget and Demandbase leadership teams now for quite a while, and it's just so awesome to see it all come together. So welcome to the call, Marnie, and welcome to the call, Dara. I'm super excited to have a conversation with you guys and see what you guys are doing.
Yeah, thanks, Uzier. I'm excited to be here.
So it'd be great maybe if we sort of start the conversation with kind of what's been going on at TechTarget and Demandbase lately, and maybe Marnie, you start.
Yeah, happy to. So I'm excited to have even joined the Demandbase team. I've been there for almost 2 years now, and just watching what we have been creating over the last couple of years it's been so fascinating and so fun. We have evolved from what I think was traditionally just an account-based marketing play to having a much more robust, what we consider to be a go-to-market solution. And so this is taking everything from the ABM plays that we have done, the advertising, but also bringing in a lot of new data within our platform. And so it's been really neat to see how do we actually make it easier for our customers to be able to execute both their marketing and sales plays.
Awesome. And Dara, what's happening at TechTarget?
Yes, thank you. If you've followed TechTarget at all, over the last couple of years, we've been quite busy with some acquisitions. And TechTarget's a lot more than Priority Engine. We offer a number of different channels for enterprise tech companies to directly engage and influence buyers. And one of our favorite phrases is, you don't want to just target intent, you want to be the cause of it. So that's a lot of what we do. With those acquisitions, Priority Engine has gotten better. So we now have all BrightTalk data within Priority Engine, which is a net new, different set of data that comes from streaming and engagements that happen across our BrightTalk platform. So there's lots of new things that you can access within the platform itself. But to Marnie's point, it's not just about us, right? And we need to make sure that our customers can take our data, leverage it, and apply it in different channels outside of our network. So that's really what we've been focused on from an R&D standpoint over the last several months, and recently had a few product launches that we'll touch on here today in conjunction with some of the partnership efforts that we've been doing with Demandbase.
Awesome. So not every user or not every a visitor on the call today probably understands Priority Engine. They may have used TechTarget because you guys do a lot of things. So
Yes.
Maybe just for clarity, what is Priority Engine so that everyone sort of understands it?
Great question. Yes. So Priority Engine is our prospect and account intent tool that identifies all of the account and intent activity from people who are doing direct research on our properties. We produce about 150 different technology websites that are usually the first click off of Google. And all of that behavioral and intent data is tracked and rolled up at a segment level across about 250 different technology market categories. So we try to apply our market knowledge and market proximity to that so that we're not just, providing a tool, but we're providing access to, emerging markets, mature markets, markets that are in transition at the click of a button.
It's awesome. So, every single customer that we probably work with in some level is using one or both of them all the time. So they're using Demandbase to kind of look at the broad view of what's going on in the world. Who are the accounts? What are the intent signals, the third-party intent signals? I think of Demandbase as a neural engine. You plug everything in and it kind of gives you a better noise to signal ratio. And so it's great. It's awesome. And then we use TechTarget with all our customers to kind of go, especially Priority Engine, amongst other things, to think about not just accounts, but who within those accounts are the buying team members that are actually showing that signal, showing that intent, so we can make it efficient for our salespeople to sort of follow up with them. The challenge historically was that those two things existed in silos. And so we had to do a lot of elbow grease work, as I mentioned before, and we've actually done some really awesome tooling as well on our side to bring that data set together. But the data set required a lot of things to normalize and standardize and be able to use it. The data set required a lot of manual CSV pullings and Excel pullings that we all love every day so much, and make sure that someone is pressing the button on a regular basis so the data flow through to people so we could make life efficient. So we did a lot of make-do things. So my most favorite question that I've been waiting for this conversation is, what can I do today that I couldn't do yesterday?
Love it. Even the dog's excited.
This is what I was worried about. Make an appearance.
Well, I think it's a fantastic question. It's the most important question. And as I mentioned, from the product release we just announced a few weeks ago, our enhanced Salesforce integration really enables three things to happen. We enable the ability to automate pulling in Demandbase account lists and other segmentation directly into Priority Engine. And what that allows you to then do is identify the precise individuals who have activity within the TechTarget network from those accounts. So directly aligning, creating a lot more operational efficiency, no more manual tasks that need to be done. And at the end of the day, what that really lets you do is, really bringing the power of whatever your sales, marketing, and ABM motions are across the two platforms, really in alignment. And that can kind of keep going in a really productive circle. Now, one of the things that we do still offer is the ability to capture Priority Engine account intent. And that's a roadmap item that also will likely be implemented in the form of an automated native integration directly from Demandbase, available to customers of both of ours. So we're starting with automating the prospect level intent, aligning the platforms, and we hope to in the near term have the ability to automate the account level intent as well, so that you're not missing any signals that might natively not be available yet within Demandbase.
That is so cool. That is so cool. That's going to save, a lot of people a lot of operational time.
Yeah, and for us, it's the operational time is a big component. What keeps me up at night is missing opportunities,
100%.
right? And I think you mentioned a lot of customers leveraging both platforms in silos, and we've talked about this, Marnie, at length, that a lot of customers have ABM teams who are happily leveraging Demandbase, and TechTarget may be working with a number of other teams within these enterprise organizations, and they don't know that there's so much synergy to be had. And you're really able to bring those two together and enhance both platforms in a meaningful way, which right now is so important with the macro climate, creating greater efficiencies and just not losing any visibility that everyone needs right now. So from a workflow standpoint, I think it's probably helpful to know how we're doing this. So as Uzair mentioned, we're really bringing together first and third party intent. It's TechTarget's first party intent to layer in a level of precision about the contacts that are truly doing the research within accounts. So starting first with the segmentation a customer may be using natively with Demandbase, we now have the ability to read those those account objects and identify accounts that might be in a specific journey stage. They might be in an opportunity stage, an engage stage. They could have a specific engagement minute configuration. So at a specific threshold, you might want to do a much more robust campaign, an omni-channel initiative to engage those specific accounts rather than tackling an entire ABM list. We read that, pull it into Salesforce, and it makes the filtering of those lists directly able to be done within Priority Engine. You can see in these screenshots here that the buying stages are right within Priority Engine. And by applying any additional filters that a customer may want to apply or just leaving it as is, they can export active prospects directly to their marketing automation platform. They can also do it to Salesforce if they'd like, but the majority of our customers are doing this through MAP. And if we go to the next slide, what happens from there is really the other half of the coin. So Demandbase has automated syncing that happens on a nightly basis from marketing automation platforms, and that pulls the data directly into Demandbase and to Salesforce, where customers can start doing a lot with that. So you have this nice kind of workflow that really pulls everything together right from the system of truth that the customer is operating off of, whether they be in marketing, sales, ABM, customer success. Everyone's typically doing something out of Salesforce. So
I think what is awesome about that is the ability for today, as you said, not to miss out for the sales people and the marketing people, really, and ensuring it's happening all the time.
Yes.
So the inconsistency was the biggest problem. There were certain reps that saw the value and did it, even though it was hard. But now it's available to everybody, which is so exciting. And it's just available so that you don't have to think about it, but you have a really, really awesome starting point.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think just to tie off on that, and I'll pass it back to Marnie here, is the automation allows this to happen every week. So every week when reps come in or marketers come in, any of the net new active prospects that are aligning to accounts that are at the appropriate stage or engagement level within Demandbase, there's a constant level of net new contacts, but the right contacts that are coming through, which again, the secondary engagement from there can be really great, whether the customer is passing that information to a sales engagement platform, you're focused on the right people, so you're not wasting a lot of time or budget, right?
Yeah, and it's interesting. I've heard a lot of my internal reps, but then also customers think, well, okay, there's so much intent everywhere, and bringing all of that intent into one location to be able to have a much more robust view on the account is really part of what Dara and I are kind of evangelizing here is, Demandbase has their own intent. TechTarget has their own intent, but if you actually layer them together, you actually have a much better view into not only the accounts that are currently in your pipelines, but actually which ones should be in your pipeline that maybe you're not touching on. So this is where we really see the Demandbase One platform coming into play, where you actually bring it all together and really enhance that account intelligence is how we refer to it. The other piece that we have is taking some of the intent that TechTarget has and bringing it in and actually counting that towards engagement minutes. Again, just adds to the robustness of who should you be talking to, at what point in time, what kind of message should you be sending to them. So it's really critical data for our teams to be able to really hone in on the accounts that they should be selling and marketing to.
This I think is my favorite feature. Like every single customer, when they see this in Demandbase, is so excited. And the next question they always ask is, well, do I know who's doing it?
Yeah.
And so the ability to see that together is just so awesome.
Well, this is actually what I was going to touch on here is sellers need to trust the data. They need to know where it's coming from and they need to trust the data. So for us to be able to show all of the different components of intent that are coming in to influence these sellers and who they should be targeting, being able to say this is coming from TechTarget or Priority Engine, this is coming from Demandbase, but then especially when you can actually see that one is actually reinforcing the other, and creating more of that excitement for the sales team to be able to trust that these are the folks that they should be speaking to.
Well, I think the other part of it also does, even if it doesn't layer, if it shows there's other people, we as salespeople oftentimes think that this is the buyer or this is the decision maker. Don't always think about the broader circle because it's just not natural, right? And so being able to see there are other people involved in the conversation, I think is such an important part in the dynamic we live in today, especially when it's remote. So I think the whole concept of the buying team, and not everything is perfect, but the notion that you're thinking broader and you're thinking about those other users as perhaps you hadn't considered before is also really, really exciting and important. And that makes it a lot more, usable this way.
Agreed. So we give this transparency also back to marketing. So as Dara had mentioned before, kind of this full loop is touching both sales and marketing. So being able to have marketing see the pieces of intent that are coming from all different locations and have that influence the scoring of these accounts, and highlighting what are people clicking on, what are they reading, how long have they read into it. So I think it gives some really good, robust features back to marketing to really enhance the campaigns that they are executing on. But part of the Demandbase platform is also making sure that you are not only leveraging the channels that are within our own platform, which is our Demandbase advertising cloud, but we also have connectors out to other platforms like sales platforms like Outreach and SalesLoft, some of the chat or conversational marketing, as they like to refer to it, Drift and Qualified. So it's just making sure that you're turning on as many channels as you possibly can turn on to have full coverage across these accounts. One of the couple ones that I'll touch on just on the Demandbase side is being able to have both intent-based advertising, but then also people-based advertising. So you can take the people that are coming from Priority Engine and who are engaged, and then be able to retarget them in an advertising campaign. The one that we just launched, which I'm really pumped about, and I know, this isn't a product pitch by any means, but I think this is just one more channel that you can hit on, is connected TV. So you can imagine that you're kind of showing up everywhere, on the TV and, on the computer. So everywhere where these prospects are, you're basically able to create those impressions, those lasting impressions that really can drive them to engaging with your account or engaging with your company.
Yeah, I think in today's day and world, today's kind of climate where efficiency is everything. Efficiency, budget efficiency, process efficiency. Already both your guys' premise was being efficient and targeted. I think this takes it to the next level and being able to do that in a much more smarter way. And I think that's super exciting. So kind of, does that mean today for, in TechTarget, now I have in my priority engine, I can see content engagement, I can see Bright Talk engagement. Will that data also show up in Demandbase in terms of engagement level when I'm looking at the deal story and deal history?
We have the ability to go ahead, Dara.
Oh, no, you can go ahead. No, I'll chime in.
We can weight those different engagement minutes based off of the different attributes that we would see in Priority Engine. So if someone clicked into one piece of content and you might want it to weight a little heavier, you can definitely set that up within Demandbase.
Awesome.
We're getting so good at this, Marnie. We're able to answer each other's questions. I was going to say the same thing. The unique signals that we have within Priority Engine can totally be configured either at the account or at the person level. And, you know, just kind of going back to what Marnie was saying around the ability to do person level targeting, you know, all of these things coming together just really do give our mutual customers these tiers of quality that they're able to really, you know, not to turn this into a TechTarget visual, but there's a center of the bullseye, there's the next halo out, and bringing all of these things together. We're excited, and the feedback so far has been so overwhelmingly positive from our mutual customers. We're excited to see what else we can do. And with that, I would love to know if anyone on the phone here has any additional ideas for what the two companies could potentially do together. So feel free to reach out to us on LinkedIn or contact us directly.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much cool stuff. I mean, you guys have propensity models of what people care about, being able to use that to run a sort of programmatic campaign through Demandbase based on you looking at those preferences. I mean, just my mind is spinning. I want to go use it today. So that's a good question. Can I use it today? Is it available?
Yes. The
Certainly
answer is
can.
yes. I was going to say we can hop off this and we'll just go ahead and get you set up.
That is awesome. That is so exciting. So, you know, naturally, when you see this, companies like us and our customers all want to say, this is great, but I want to do more. What else can I do? So
well, I think
what's coming next?
This is the fun part for Dara and I, is I think we're on the phone with each other. It feels like twice a week at this point, just new ideas. And you know, as Dara mentioned, we'd love to hear from our audience on if they have new use cases that maybe we didn't cover today. But I think for both Dara and I, one of the things that we're looking to do is, while we're currently leveraging Salesforce as the go-between and the maps as the go-between, in the future, we would like to see a much deeper integration where it's direct demand-based to TechTarget, demand-based to Priority Engine. So it's not getting looped through either the map or the Salesforce necessarily. So I think we're working on those conversations as we speak. So I'm excited to see how we can have a deeper partnership and a deeper connection with each other.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I would echo the fact that, you know, my big takeaway is that unmet needs are usually brought to us by customers, right? So if anyone who's viewing this today, whether you're a customer or not, and you want to be a customer, we welcome ideas. But in terms of what you can really be able to do now, you can sort of see here a few of the initial concepts. You know, marketers have a little bit of an extra level of confidence and security that they have the right kinds of compliance with the prospects that they're receiving from Priority Engine. They can execute that through a number of different channels, as Marnie just showed you through that beautiful diagram. You're aligning your workflows, the teams, which is the ultimate goal of ABM. And sellers, again, Marnie mentioned that you've got to be confident. And, you know, rather than having to guess at who might be the one doing the research, and Uzair, you brought up the changing personas and buying teams. I mean, I think this is a lesson that everyone is continuing to learn. There are some surprises out there, right, of who is really doing the research. And in a study that we just did of our customers around data-driven selling, the number one challenge of sellers today is not knowing what to say to the members of the buying team. They know what to say at the account level, but knowing what those individuals are researching is so valuable. And I think that that's really going to drive a lot more velocity and opportunity progression, just the greater ability to engage with folks and get them to respond to cadences. All of that gets enhanced with the unification of this data.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, what we are solving for is to drive unified account conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath is you want to have that in a humanized manner. And so it's not just personalized, it's humanized. So like you're still talking to a person. And with all this automation, there's a fear of becoming robotic in a literal sense. And so this kind of intelligence and helping ability to synthesize this intelligence and bring it together makes it easier for people to kind of move in that direction. And I think the thing that we are focused on as with us and our customers is really about synthesis, is about that signal to noise ratio. It's about bringing the layered intent together so I can be better, smarter, and act and intercept that conversation where they are in their journey.
Exactly.
Versus the traditional manner of I have a 4-step selling process and doesn't matter how you came to me, I'm going to start at step 0 or step 1. The world's changed. And so, this is super exciting. I really want to thank both of you to sort of, being part of our kind of first innovation lab session. And we couldn't have asked for a better one because of just kind of how exciting this is. And, we'll be your biggest cheerleaders and customer proxy. And I'll part by taking some credit of introducing the two of you and saying, go do this.
I was waiting for it, right? I was going to thank you, but I was waiting for you to take credit first.
I was like, hey, this is, I can't, it's like the day it happened, our teams were immediately, these two belong together. They need to be used together. And we built something just because we saw the power of this for our joint customers. And to see this happen and hopefully now do happen more and happen faster is just so exciting. So exciting. So thank you to both of you guys, and
Thanks
hope
for
everyone
having us. This is great.
Hope everyone enjoyed the session today, and more to come. And as Marnie and Dara said, please share in your comments and reach out to us if you have more ideas, more feedback. The goal is to use this program and this organization as a proxy to get your customer voice to these amazing technology vendors and make us all successful. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Suzanne.
Thanks, Dara.